is advised.
Trendsetters, the school of hard knocks and that attitude era. Yeah, I just wanted to be one of the best. Holding the mic as I'm yelling out D-Generation X. I will remember it. I never forget it. We've come a pretty long way. There's so much I can say. It's never really gone away.
It is a historic Easter Monday as NASA has shot for and has arrived to the moon. But tonight, we here at the Raw Patrol will continue to shoot for the moon. It's Chris Best and OMD here. Big night tonight. Big night tonight. We got a contract signing between Femi and Brock Lesnar.
Yes, we've got a grudge match and a crossover match being WrestleMania season. All hands on deck as BFab and Michin take on the tag team of Rhea.
And that makes sense given what took place on Friday when Io Sky showed up to help Rhea Ripley as Jade Cargill and BFab and Michin attempted to attack Rhea Ripley. Well, I shouldn't say attempted. They did attack.
Yes. And we are going to kick things off with our World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk.
That's a nice ring jacket he's got.
Now, this is very, very interesting because the info I had Seth Rollins opening this show tonight.
Well, CM Punk is taking it hostage, as that's the same info I had. I was the one who gave you that info.
Yep.
But
CM Punk didn't waste any time in getting to the ring, but we don't know if Roman Reigns is in the building, if this is going to lead to another face-to-face tonight.
Oh, Punk is sitting in the middle of the ring. Something is definitely on his mind, though, just based on the look in his face and the way he stormed at that ring.
Absolutely.
And of course, he is just milking it right now.
So Punk saying he will not trade who he is. He will not trade his authenticity for approval, and says he is old, not weak.
Punk is just spitting truths left, right, and center, just firing them off.
Yes, he is, and I love it. The question is Punk now heading into this match as the heel and Roman heading in as the babyface, or is this still a case of babyface versus babyface? It's just a matter of which side you lie on.
It's babyface versus babyface. The reaction from what Punk had just said proved that there.
I do want to welcome Selena to the show. Good evening, Selena. Thank you for stopping in. We are Chris Best and OM Dynamic. We are the Raw Patrol. We are watching and observing Monday Night Raw and delivering our analysis and live reactions.
Damn, Punk, you had to bring some real life into this situation for what's possibly going on right now across over the world.
And now calling out Pat McAfee and everything going on in the wrestling world.
Was that basically Pipe Bomb 2.0?
100%. And now we're getting him going out into the crowd, circa Money in the Bank. Do we get that at WrestleMania Vegas?
If he does win, I do see that, because this would be Punk's first actual WrestleMania main event. And I say actual because I'm on the side that night 2, the last match of the weekend is the main event. I do understand the whole night 1 main event, night 2 main event dynamic, but the final match of the weekend is the main reason why everybody's there for that whole weekend.
Absolutely.
We're taking a look at last Monday when Logan Paul's mom tried to help Logan Paul win, and then IShowSpeed gets into this, but he accidentally decked LA Knight, which then led to LA Knight showing up at IShowSpeed's house and attacking him there.
Yes. But it also led to new World Tag Team Champions in Austin Theory and Logan Paul, The Vision. And Isho, again, not looking too happy that he inadvertently cost the Usos.
Well, he tried to tell, here's the attack here, but in the attack, IShowSpeed did try to tell LA, like, that was an accident. I didn't mean to hit you. But LA wasn't having it.
And IShowSpeed there again tonight. Is Isho the celebrity involvement at WrestleMania this year?
Could very well be, but he's with Danhausen right now. I show Speed showing reluctance again, but the truth or the Vision has offered protection to I show Speed because the Usos hate him, LA Knight hates him. This leads me to believe that there's a 6-man tag happening at WrestleMania.
Right. And I was going to say, because we don't have a direction for the Vision or the World Tag Team titles. Is I show Speed the celebrity involvement?
He's the reluctant celebrity involvement. I get a feeling that this is going to lead to, like, as we see the reluctance on I show Speed's face right now.
Yes.
This is going to lead to I show Speed decking either Logan Paul or Austin Theory at WrestleMania.
Yes. And once again, conspicuous by his absence with the Vision is Paul Heyman.
He's got a contract signing to worry about tonight, though.
He does. And Seth Rollins and Gunther.
If he's even going to get even further involved in that.
Yeah.
But to me right now, I think Paul Heyman's big concern would be that contract signing, or it should be that contract signing. But we know that Seth is itching to get his one up on Paul Heyman.
Yes.
But Austin Theory is getting ready for a matchup against LA Knight. I think the Usos should show up with LA Knight, or at least be prepared.
Yes.
For the Vision to get involved.
Now,
or at least Logan Paul, because I don't think I show Speed's going to.
Right. I know you suggested a 6-man tag for Mania. Could we potentially get 2 matches? Get LA Knight versus I show Speed, and then the Usos versus the Vision again at WrestleMania in a rematch.
Well, if you do the 6-man tag, you can mask I show Speed's shortcomings in the ring.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, he's not that experienced in the ring. I'm sure he's done some training. We all know he's wrestled a couple of matches, mostly Royal Rumbles or Battle Royals or something like that.
Yes.
But if you put him in a 6-man, you can mask him and just have him come in and do like a cross body off the top rope or something like that, you know?
Right. Now, knowing as well that apparently Braun Breaker has been medically cleared, could Braun Breaker be the guy to take out LA Knight in this situation and assist the Vision to then go to that match at WrestleMania, since we know it's likely going to be Seth Rollins and Gunther?
It's not likely going to be Seth Rollins and Gunther. That match has actually been officially announced.
Okay.
As far as Braun Breaker, I haven't heard anything about him being medically cleared, so I don't think Braun Breaker is going to get involved at Mania in any way.
Okay.
But let me just double check my sources just to be on the safe side. Who? Totally forgot. Oh, that's you. I thought it was you I was messaging. I thought it was... sorry, my phone is all out of sorts right now. Breaker is, he is cleared, but I think at this point, because we're less than 2 weeks away from Mania, I wouldn't put him in a Mania match.
Okay.
I think everything should be set in stone at this point for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I could see it, because then you can get a defined, clear matchup for LA Knight and for Braun Breaker, as opposed to having to go to that celebrity involvement. If you're going to do something like that, do a comedy spot with I Show Speed and Danhausen.
I get a feeling though, because John Cena is going to be hosting WrestleMania. I feel like Danhausen and John Cena are going to get that comedy spot together.
Probably. And I'm going to call it right now for John Cena as the host of WrestleMania. I do believe we see The Undertaker at WrestleMania with an announcement for John Cena.
That's hard to say at the same time because, well, John Cena still has a WWE contract, by the way. His contract now grants him like an ambassador role, which means like he's going to be out there promoting WWE's product and doing hosting duties for whichever event that he gets asked to host for, whether it's like a Saturday night's main event or
Right.
maybe he becomes a guest GM on an episode of Raw or something like that.
Right.
Or even host, let's say he hosts SummerSlam this year too. You could have the Undertaker do that kind of announcement at those events as well.
You could. And initially I had heard John Cena slated for the Raw after Mania. But now that he is the host, I don't know if you need him on the Raw after Mania.
No, but going back to that, that's where I think Braun Breaker makes his return, because the Raw after Mania always sets up new stories
It does.
For the foreseeable future. I would say from now to SummerSlam is what they set up those stories for after Mania.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins officially start their story. But right now, we've got a very aggressive Austin Theory just taking it to LA Knight right now.
Yes, we do.
I absolutely love how aggressive he's become over the last while.
Yeah.
It's a direct change from that showboat style that he wrestled when he was tag teaming with Grayson Waller.
Yeah, the showboat. And even when he debuted as Austin Theory coming down with the selfie stick in his Instagram feed.
Yeah, that was too much Tyler Breeze in my opinion.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I did enjoy when Austin Theory did that, because he would actually go live on his Instagram and you could watch his entrance while watching the event. I thought that was cool. I would love to see more social media integration kind of like that.
Yeah.
From Logan Paul specifically. I would like to see that. And
that's
hell,
why I'd like
even I Show Speed. Why not? Because he is a
Yep.
social media personality.
Well, and I was going to say, and I'd like to see us go back to getting that type of an intro from a Grayson Waller.
Mm-hmm.
Back to his old music and getting the Grayson Waller effect and him talking about the Grayson Waller rub again.
Yeah, and again, that's where I'm gonna bunk off that and say, like, I miss those old school talk shows. Like, I would love to see Raw have a setup where you could have the Grayson, or whichever show you're gonna do that night, whether it's the Grayson Waller effect. Well, Grayson Waller effect's the only show that they have now.
Yeah.
So whether it's the Grayson Waller effect, or even if Carlito were to come back and do his Caribbean Cabana, have that set up off to the side, just like we used to see with the Brother Love show. Or
you know what? You could do an impulsive interview. I'm going to even sit here and say it. You go with Austin's theory of relativity.
I like where you went with Logan Paul doing that, because you could because Logan Paul's setup is just, Logan Paul's setup, it's a bunch of guys in a living room by the looks of it. I've watched the podcast a couple of times. You could 100% do that. Ric Flair did that with the Flair for the Gold.
Yeah.
It was his setup was just a living room setup. That's all it was.
Yep. And Bobby, great to see you, my friend. Thank you for stopping in. As always, you know it. We love having you here. So thank you, as always, for stopping in and saying hello.
Yeah, what a deep grab that was for a Flair for the Gold, eh? Ric Flair's
Yep.
short-lived talk show, which featured one of the most infamous angles, though,
Yep.
the Shockmaster.
Well, and the Heartbreak Hotel was that,
That was set up to look like a seedy hotel, though.
yes, it was. Bobby's saying he's sorry he missed Saturday's show for Stand and Deliver. He was at a concert. Fantastic.
Dude.
Bobby, please tell us who you saw. I was busy with family for Easter weekend. So I haven't even seen Stand and Deliver yet.
But do you know the results? Because I almost spoiled them on you.
No.
You got to watch it.
The only thing I heard was something about a certain female superstar and a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that because that was actually a fantastic match overall. LA Knight and Austin Theory still going on here. This has been a very entertaining matchup here. And if you go back and watch the PLE patrol we did for Stand and Deliver, you'll be shocked at who I picked to win the NXT title.
Okay.
That clearly says I didn't pick Joe Hendry.
You didn't. Bobby saying he saw country singer Luke Combs and others. Okay.
Cool. I actually wouldn't mind going to see Luke Combs. He's actually not a bad singer.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot of his stuff, but
he's got some pretty catchy tunes.
I mean, let's be honest. I am, we're on the 6th, and I am now, less than a week away from seeing Pop Evil.
Man, the innovation of Austin Theory's innovative maneuvers. I love them.
Right? But LA Knight with that resilience to come back and start trying to take the fight with that clothesline over the top rope.
Yeah, and LA Knight, now that he's playing it smart. He's got Austin Theory in his hands, and he's keeping an eye over on Logan Paul.
Yes.
And I Show Speed, because he more than likely will expect I Show Speed to interfere. And if I Show Speed does, it will be on accident again. I guarantee that.
Yes. And this is a direct message to Logan Paul, who he has had a history with over the US Championship on SmackDown.
Oh, LA Knight. I think he was trying to use Austin Theory as a kind of lure for Logan Paul.
I Show Speed staying back, keeping his hands up, saying, I'm not getting involved.
And there's the accident. Logan Paul just pushed I Show Speed into LA Knight.
Yes, he did. And I Show trying to get out of there. LA Knight, his focus has been taken off of Theory.
And here come the Usos now. Now, here's the one thing. Why is the referee so fixated on Austin Theory? Why is he not counting LA Knight right now?
Right?
Sometimes I forget just how athletic I Show Speed is. He's a naturally gifted athlete. I will
He
give you
is.
that. And he is although wrestling probably isn't the sport he should be in because he focuses a lot on soccer. He's heavy into soccer. And he's actually pretty good at soccer, by the way.
Right. But Austin Theory stealing the win
Yeah.
because the ref did not go for the count out. And LA Knight got, again, distracted by ISO Speed, who got pushed into him by Logan Paul.
And I show Speed trying to plead his case right now by the looks of it. If only there was a big video wall that they could look at to see what happened.
Right?
If only.
And it's not, wouldn't be the first time we've seen it go to a video review.
Yeah, I'll go all the way back to the 1996 Royal Rumble when it was Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Duke the Dumpster Drosy in the pre-show where they were battling to see who would be the first entrant and who would be the 30th entrant. And Gorilla Monsoon caught on video Hunter Hearst Helmsley using brass knucks to try and take the win. And he came out and showed the referee the video. The referee reversed the decision. But Logan Paul saving ISO Speed there. And now I've got to wonder, too, if this is going to try and... Is Logan Paul going to try and prove his loyalty, his loyalty to ISO Speed? Or... Oh, LA Knight's got the mic.
And LA Knight calling for Adam Pearce.
Who called that? 6-man tag team action. I'm not mad that the tag titles aren't being represented in a championship match at WrestleMania, but at least they are in a high profile match still.
They are. They are. And this is very, very intriguing because we sort of don't know where the Usos lie on everything, especially as it relates to Punk and Roman.
I'm going to say they're officially out of that situation right now because all they want to do is get back their tag team titles.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that, well, I mean, if you pin the champions, you should get the shot, right? And then, to be fair, the Usos should get the shot anyways because they lost the belts and should get the rematch.
Yeah.
But Bobby Stats, thank you for liking the show, the video. Thank you for enjoying our show. And yeah, I just firmly I mean, it was written in stone, I think, like last week, essentially, that there was going to be a 6-man tag somewhere.
Yeah, I've been hearing that, we were going to get LA Knight and ISO Speed 1-on-1. And then it was really yesterday that I started seeing things about a 6-man.
But a 6-man makes more sense. As I said, it would help mask a lot of ISO Speed's shortcomings and expose a lot of his strengths that he could have in the ring.
Yeah.
And he's with guys that can help him out big time in the ring, especially with the Usos and LA Knight and the amount of years that they've spent in the ring. Austin Theory's been around for quite some time too. Logan Paul, I mean, sure, but Logan Paul is still a bit of a rookie. But we're looking at when Pat McAfee was revealed as the one who's been calling Randy Orton.
Yeah, and this was a huge surprise and another twist in everything. I mean, we had heard different names. We had heard The Rock potentially being the guy on the phone with Randy. We heard Kevin Owens potentially being the guy on the phone with Randy. Pat McAfee comes out of left field for this.
Yeah, and I'm a little confused by it, but I hope to hear something out of Randy Orton. Pat McAfee did explain why, but I want to hear Randy Orton's side of things.
Yeah. But we all know that Pat McAfee can go. And I mean, it's been a while since he had a high quality matchup, because I'm not going to class that match he had with Gunther as a great match by any stretch.
It was great for what it needed to do, though, that match.
But when he was doing the stuff in NXT and doing War Games, holy cow, did he step up and deliver.
But here comes Finn Balor as he's getting ready for his match with his pupil, JD McDonough.
Yes.
But
and Grayson Waller and Kofi Kingston in the back arguing.
Yeah, but you know what you guys should be arguing about? The stuff you can buy at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, and we want you to head on over to the shop, support your favorite shows and your favorite podcasters, wear what we wear, and all of the proceeds come back into our studios to deliver you a better experience. All of that and so much more, turnbucklestudios.org.
You know, when Rayo and Bravo showed up on our screens many, many months ago, I couldn't tell who was who or which was which, but now I know who is who, if you know
Rayo
what I mean.
Rayo is red, Bravo is blue, but yes, I know who is who.
Mm-hmm. Until like I saw on AAA this past week, like they actually got a close up on who was who. I'm like, oh, okay, I know which one is which. But JD McDonough making his way to the ring right now. I feel bad for JD for what he's about to encounter because Finn has been one ticked off SOB lately.
Yes, and I asked this on the LRB. Does Dom interfere in this and maybe potentially awaken the demon? Or is this sort of the worst kicking that JD McDonough faces in his entire career? given how he excommunicated his mentor from the Judgment Day. As we do have Bubba Duke coming in and saying, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you, Bubba. Great to have you here. I hope work is not too hard for you yet.
You want work for it to be hard for you? With that yet there. But yeah. This is a match, though, that I thought would have happened on a pay-per-view. Maybe at Backlash. And I mean, you probably could still go that way after Mania. But at the same time, I feel like if Finn is successful in taking Dom, if there is a championship on the line, if the AAA Mega title, we'll say, is on the line, then I think Dom would ask for that rematch, and it would be at Backlash. So
see, I think if it's going to be for the AAA Mega Championship, I think he waits and does it back on AAA.
Well, yeah, AAA does have a pay-per-view coming up in May as well. So,
but I mean, let's not forget, you've got Backlash. Then we go to Saturday night's main event, and then we go to Clash in Italy, all in May. So you have that huge, huge month of action as we come off of WrestleMania. But I'm wondering, because we saw JD come out alone, does this become a situation of, is Dom waiting there in the back? Is he going to attack Finn on the entrance? Or does he come out later to cause a distraction? Maybe allowing JD to pick up the win and they beat down Finn, all to awaken the demon.
that's what I think we're going to. Anyways, I think we're still getting the demon regardless of how it comes about, because Finn is just that ticked off at what happened to him.
Yeah, and I mean, the demon coming out is going to be enough of a head game with Dom that it's going to really throw him off. And I think it's going to lead to a potential another serious ass kicking at the hands of Finn Balor to Dom Mysterio. Or Tom and Nick. Oh, what did I just call?
Yeah, you just called that, and I had a thought in my head now, because Dom has got the numbers game, right?
Yep.
What if Finn reaches for some old blood to get some help? You said Tom and Nick, and it could very well. Damian Priest could very well just be there to be an extra hand to make sure no shenanigans happen.
He could, but I've also heard some other interesting names from Finn's past to come in and potentially help him against the Judgment Day. And one of those guys is currently on SmackDown. And two of those guys have been with the company a few times before.
I don't think the Good Brothers are going to come, considering they just signed an MLW extension.
I know. And MLP extension as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I have heard the Good Brothers, but I've also heard Tama Tonga to potentially jump ship.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense right now either, considering it seems like there's a power struggle within the MFT between Tama and Solo right now. But because Damien doesn't really have anything for Mania, neither does another former Judgment Day member in R-Truth. But I think that this attack And this is where I'm going to go. I think this attack did wake up the demon. And when he becomes the demon doesn't need backup.
No, that he doesn't. But I think what I would have liked to see there was have the lights go out and you hear that heartbeat and the pulsing red light.
Bubba's saying he would love to see Finn walk out of Mania with the AAA title.
Yep. But he's also asking about what about Finn's old friend from Japan, Sinka? Somebody I'm not familiar with at all.
Well, the majority of Bubba or Finn's friends were the Bullet Club, so
right. As we are getting a look at AJ Lee right now and leading into her Intercontinental Championship rematch at WrestleMania with Becky Lynch.
Oh, and earlier today there was a sit down with Michael Cole. Now, did AJ get into Becky's head or what with that?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But Bubba did say meant to say Shinsuke Nakamura, and that's actually not a bad choice either. But Shinsuke's got something. He's getting into the head of Tamataga right now.
Yeah.
But damn, that interview or that face to face. That wasn't an interview. That was a face to face.
Yes, it was.
The Saturday. Oh, this is going to be great for me as an editor because tomorrow, the match order, Saturday and Sunday's matches are going to be revealed tomorrow.
Awesome.
For WrestleMania
At 9:35 a.m. Eastern.
That's going to give me so much time for editing. I love it, WWE. Thank you. Right now, Bailey is on her way to the ring. And Lyra, I would assume. Yeah, there's Lyra. There's a part of me that still wants to see Bailey just for one night, and that one night could be at WrestleMania, where she comes out in the hugger gimmick.
Right?
Because let's face it, this current version of Bailey that we're seeing right now is a mix of the hugger and that dark psycho Karen gimmick that she had.
Well, and they went to that mix because they had three different voices in her head. They had the hugger, they had the ding dong hello, and then this new one, and then they've sort of gotten away from the one. Yes, she has been a little bit more aggressive in the ring, but not to the point that we really need to see or expect from what they were trying to portray her as.
But I wonder if we're going to see that if Bailey and Lyra are not successful in winning the tag titles at WrestleMania. Do we see Bailey finally flip the script and turn on Lyra the following night?
I think if you're going to get that turn, I think you get that at Mania. But I think in this situation, because Bailey is still, and I know it's been a couple of years that she's been a babyface, but we've never had a heel Lyra. And I think you need Lyra to turn. And Lyra can say, well, Bailey has held me back. Bailey has gone for all of these opportunities with my blessing, never was able to bring me the tag team championships. Becky did that with me.
But Becky also cost her the titles 24 hours later.
She did.
There is a part of me that wants Bailey and Lyra to become the tag team champions, though, because when it comes to the big matches, Lyra and Bailey have kind of failed on those moments, you know?
Yeah. Oh, there's a huge part of me that wants to see it as well. We know that they were supposed to have that match last year at Mania, and then Becky was the one revealed to have taken Bailey out to be the new partner.
Bobby Stats is asking, do you guys think JC Jane goes to Raw or SmackDown when she gets called up? I'm going to say SmackDown because I kind of want to see her working with Chelsea Green.
Yep, I am with you 100%.
I either want to see that or see Tiffany Stratton turn heel and her and JC form a team, or Kiana James finally Kiana James and Julia split and they form a team. But I also wouldn't mind seeing the entire Fatal Influence come up as well,
right,
all together.
You know what? I mean, I don't know enough yet still about Lainey Reed. I just haven't seen enough from her in ring.
Mm-hmm.
So I would almost dare to say that maybe Lainey Reed stays in NXT and joins Ren QCC. Bobby's saying he wants to see JC Jane win the Women's US Championship. I would love it. But I don't want to see the splitting of Julia and Kiana James. I think Kiana James has done too much for Julia in a short amount of time that I don't need that split anytime soon.
But going back to your quote on Lainey Reed there, we also thought it was too soon for Liv Morgan. We also thought it was too soon for Alexa Bliss. Look at the success they've had.
Yeah.
Lainey Reed could very well fall into that, and Lainey Reed's got the tools to do it.
She does. She does. Yes, Liv Morgan, I know we all thought was too soon, but it was a matter of her getting all of those reps as part of the Riot Squad. And then, of course, having that opportunity to be in the ring with Charlotte, who decimated her, forcing her to go and put in the work at the PC.
And the same, like, for Alexa, like, because all we knew her as in NXT was the manager of Buddy Murphy and
Blake Matthews.
Thank you. But Lash Legend has just chucked Bailey to the outside. And now she's getting into it with Nia.
Yes.
Bailey, when you got to show your experience here, girl, because you can't let Nia distract you.
Right? Yes, Lash is an absolute powerhouse in her own right.
Yeah, and you can't sell Lash Legend short, because over the last year, and I've been saying this, but she has been incredibly impressive, and she still has several more years to grow.
Oh yeah.
And I really think, like, when they first put her with Nia Jax, I thought that was a brilliant move for them to do that.
Yeah. Even when it started off as that one fight that they had on NXT, to then go to this tandem on regular TV, and now that Lash can get her reps on both shows with all of these different veterans, I love this for Lash.
And again, that's where, if you were to call up a Fatal Influence, that's where Lainey Reed can get her reps, is by working with all these experienced women. If you bring them up and put them on SmackDown, or put them in the mix for the women's tag team championships, you've got the Bella Twins, possibly. You've got Charlotte Flair there. You've got Alexa Bliss. You've got Bailey. You've got Lyra. You've got Nia Jax. You've got Lash Legend. You've got Asuka. You've got Kairi Sane, all there to help a woman like Lainey Reed to blossom as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And I know I mentioned Lash, and Lash has barely been up on the main roster for a year, but she could be that buddy in the locker room to help guide her through everything. You know what I mean?
Yep. Now, we know that all four of these women, Bailey, Lash, Nia, and Lyra, are part of the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match. Do we see the Bellas? Do we see Alexa and Charlotte get involved and create a distraction in this match?
Yep, because it's happened every other match that these women have been involved in. It wouldn't surprise me. And it could even just happen after the match, and I gotta wonder, at which point do both Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis say, we've had enough of this, and they throw a stipulation in there, you know?
Yep.
I mean, as it stands, the fatal 4-way tag team title match, there's no disqualifications, no countouts, nothing of that nature.
Would you almost consider going to a fatal 4-way tornado tag?
Well, if you're going to make a tornado tag, you might as well turn it TLC. Because I'm kind of in that boat with Parrish now, where Parrish said he wouldn't mind seeing a women's TLC match for the tag team titles.
And I'm with you, but I think that if you were going to do that, I think you need to go. I think 5 or 6 teams would be better, though I'm good with 4. I would like to have seen potentially, now that Roxanne is back, you go to the idea of pairing up Roxanne and Raquel again. Maybe you go to a team from NXT.
And maybe that's where Fatal Influence steps in.
Right. Or maybe again, that's where Chelsea Green recovers from her ankle injury and can compete.
Mm-hmm. But again, that's where it's like 6 teams. That's 12. That's 12 women. That's a bit too much on my personal end. Even though I'm thinking along the lines of that, because we saw the TLC match at SummerSlam that featured 6 teams as well. Okay, I think I'm going to retract my statement and say if that is the case, then let's do it. Because I enjoyed that 16 TLC match at SummerSlam, so
right,
and it had me hooked because that was like every team going after the Wyatt 6. They wanted the tag team. Every team wanted the tag team titles. They wanted to get them off the Wyatt 6. They weren't successful.
Yep.
But right now, I was going to say the Lash Legend is having a successful time beating up Bailey.
She was. What a drop kick there from Bailey, and just the timing on it.
And she's doing what she usually does when she's in a match against a woman like Nia. She's throwing everything she can to make sure that Lash Legend does not regain her composure in this matchup.
Yep. Beautiful elbow drop from Bailey to Lash, too, as she was trying to get back to her feet. But Lash once again showing her power.
Now, not that I want to see it happen because I think it's pretty set in stone. What if the Bellas can't compete because of Nikki's ankle injury and the Bellas come out at Mania and say, hey, look, we can't do this match, but we have a replacement. And then that's where we see maybe Fatal Influence or even the Kabuki Warriors be the replacement or something like that.
I would be okay with that because I'm not big on seeing the Bellas in this match, but I understand why they're there.
Yeah, they're very much heavily a part of the story that this match is, or this feud. As right now, Charlotte and Alexa have made their presence felt to try and take out Nia, but Bailey took out all 3 of them.
Yes, she did. And as Bailey went to try and capitalize on her momentum, Lash got up and knocked Bailey off her perch. And are we going to get a legendary superplex here from Lash?
I think so. It's going to be legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
And Lyra catching the foot, and then, some heel tactics out of Lyra and Bailey to get that win.
But who's to say if Nia didn't get beat up on by Charlotte and Alexa that Nia wouldn't have done the same thing?
Right. But yeah, Lyra with that slight trip on the superplex and then holding Lash's foot down to prevent her from kicking out. And a recap last week of Adam Pearce telling Paul Heyman that the Boston Police Department 2 weeks ago have dropped all charges against Seth Rollins. And then letting Paul know that Seth was medically cleared.
Hasn't anyone learned, don't have your back turned when Seth Rollins has a chair? I mean, we saw it happen to Roman. We saw it happen to Paul Heyman. We saw it happen to Cody. We saw it happen to Roman again. But now we've got I almost called him Walter because I've been watching some of his older matches, but Gunther out there tagging Seth Rollins here.
Something we all found very interesting last week is that Gunther did not assist Paul Heyman off of the edge of the ramp, didn't try and help him up, didn't shake his hand. So we don't know if there is any association or affiliation between Gunther and Paul Heyman.
I got to think that Seth Rollins is going to is convinced that there is, though. But you know what we can convince you guys to do? We're going to convince you guys to join us.
That's right.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever wanted your break-in podcasting content creation, a potential collaboration, or to help us out behind the scenes, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. Hit the join button, send us your credentials via email, tell us how you believe you can help us, how you feel we can help you, and we will sit down as a collective and find the right fit. All of that and so much more, turnbucklestudios.org. As we have the new Slammy Award-winning Danhausen.
Oh, Danhausen, you are just gold.
right?
I love him. I absolutely love Danhausen. I can't wait to see what he does at WrestleMania.
Right. And now that he is a Slammy Award winner for what we don't know, maybe the most powerful curse.
He did say it was for the most handsomest wrestler.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. So,
And we got DeMarco Ryans of the Houston Texans. He's their head coach, and he's got one of those god awful NFL belts with him.
yes, that one is pretty hideous. Who?
A rapper by the name of Bun B. And there's the real celebrity. Mark Henry is in the house, guys. Of course, Mark Henry, a native of Texas, being from Silsbee, Texas.
Yes.
Re-signing with the WWE recently to a Legends contract, from what I understand.
And I believe his son is on the NIL lineup.
Lots of people's kids training in wrestling these days. Tatanka's kids are training at the Dungeon 2.0 right now.
Yep. Stephanie and Hunter's kids are at the PC. Taker's daughter is at the PC.
We are looking at the Hall of Fame induction for the documentary for Hulk Hogan's the docu-series on Hulk Hogan that is due to come out on April 22nd. At first I thought it was a video talking about the WrestleMania 3 induction, because that first shot was WrestleMania 3. I'm gonna watch this series. I'm curious about it, but I'm wondering at the same time if they're gonna tell stories about Hulk Hogan that I don't know, because I know a lot of Hulk Hogan stories. So it even features, like, this was Hulk Hogan's last interview before he died as well. It's going to feature interviews from wrestlers from his past, such as Jimmy Hart, Bret Hart, too, as was shown there. But I got to wonder, you need to have Brutus Beefcake in there. You need to have Brian Knobbs on it as well. These guys were two of Hogan's best friends. You need to have archival footage of Macho Man talking about Hogan, even archival footage of the Ultimate Warrior talking about Hogan, which I just think we just saw Hogan and Warrior doing that, shaking hands there.
Yep. I think you need to get interviews with the legendary and again, Tiny Lister.
Yeah, sure. I'm almost certain there's archival interviews with him, because Tiny's no longer with us either.
Right?
Even archival footage of Andre talking about him, archival footage of Bobby Heenan talking about him. Get Jesse Ventura on there as well.
And I'm going to put another name out there, and you need to have Vince.
As much as controversial as Vince has been lately, I will actually agree to that. But you also need to get Eric Bischoff.
Yes.
Because right up until the day he died, who was working close with Hogan? Eric Bischoff.
Yep. And I mean, we saw Nash in there, but you've got to have interviews with Hall. You've got to have interviews with Sean Waltman.
Dennis Rodman as well. Rodman
Jake?
was shown. I'm very intrigued about this, but
Jake,
I'm also intrigued.
DDP.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued with what Seth Rollins has to say about what happened with him and Gunther last week.
You and me both.
By the way, this is Seth Rollins' first time speaking since he came back, too.
He did start to speak and then got interrupted by something and didn't finish what he was saying.
Seth Rollins saying that he was the one who orchestrated Brock Lesnar to face Oba Femi. That's interesting.
Well, given the way that that was set up, it really looks like it was a brilliant strategy, and full credit to Seth in that situation.
And Gunther with the attack is It's Seth Rollins coming back. Seth was prepared this time.
Yes, he was. But Gunther is showing that strength and size advantage that he has there to catch Seth, throw him over the table, but Seth using his resilience to come back.
He's we seem to forget that Seth has a never say die type attitude and will do just about anything and everything to take out the larger competition. But Seth pointed out something interesting in that promo he suspects that there is a relationship between Gunther and Paul Heyman. The only thing we're going to have to find out is if there is, and we need to see it. We need to hear it from both Heyman and Gunther about that.
Yes, and again, Paul Heyman not coming out there to walk off with Gunther. We know that Paul Heyman has the contract signing a little bit later tonight. But yeah, no official announcement on a business decision.
Maybe we'll get it here. Gunther now walking into the back and encountering Paul Heyman with a smile. So Gunther's doing it for his own reasons. And what are those reasons? We don't know.
Right, but then telling Paul Heyman, you owe me so much more than a thank you.
And that's what I was getting at.
Does this mean something in the future for Gunther?
Well, Minnesota is the site of SummerSlam.
Right?
Just gonna put that out there. Who is a famous wrestler from Minnesota that Paul Heyman manages?
The man on our screen who's going to be involved in the contract signing tonight, Brock Lesnar.
And I gotta wonder if when that time comes for Paul Heyman to repay his debt to Gunther, will Brock Lesnar take exception to that?
Right. What I'm going to suggest is, do you get to a point where you have Gunther once again as the world heavyweight champion going into SummerSlam and you go into a title versus career match?
See, that's where I'm wondering is how we get there because, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank on CM Punk, who did CM Punk defeat first?
Punk had beaten Gunther. Yes, we have never had a true one-on-one with Rollins and Gunther.
So, because Gunther had said that may not be personal for Seth Rollins, but it is personal to me. And Gunther was out there when Rollins cashed in on Punk, thus not allowing Gunther to get his revenge on Punk. And Gunther just kind of faded off to the side while Rollins ran wild with the World Heavyweight title. But you know what we like to do at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program? And I'm solely saying this because I got to take off for just a minute or so.
We like to tell the people about all of the fine quality programming available for them each and every night of the week.
Well, I was going to say we like to run wild with our programming, but here we go.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we go TNA as we brace for Impact at 9 p.m. On Fridays, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later that night, we have the Borsnest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. And please visit turnbucklestudios.org.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Something for you each and every night of the week here at turnbucklestudios.org. And ladies and gentlemen, that does not include our special events like watch-alongs or PLE Patrol or any other special events. But ladies and gentlemen, whether it is gaming, whether it is wrestling, whether it is something else, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to meet the team and meet the hosts at turnbucklestudios.org under the host section. Myself, Chris Best, Bubba Duke, Chris Parrish, Carl Carafel. Click on each of our individual links and get our socials, even though you can see them under myself, under my name here tonight, and under Mr. Best's name when he returns. Watch our latest weekly live episodic shows. And ladies and gentlemen, please interact with us. All of this and so much more at turnbucklestudios.org. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very, very intriguing episode of Raw so far. Please let us know where you stand. What are your thoughts on the show as we are less than 2 weeks from WrestleMania? Bobby, thank you so much for the kind words. We greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why we want you to go and meet the team at turnbucklestudios.org. Come and interact in our chats, respective for our shows, regardless of what program it is. But ladies and gentlemen, please, like I said, let us know your thoughts on Raw. Join the chat. If you're in the chat, it gives us more reason to keep putting out more and more programming. We do have some programming changes coming up closer to the end of the month. Right now, it is looking much like the Locker Room Breakdown will move from the Monday night at 7 time slot to the Sunday evening at 7 o'clock time slot, but will cover both Raw and SmackDown. The Boar's Nest is going to move from the Sunday time slot back into the Thursday time slot with a wide array of hosts, whether it is going to be an open mic night or a gaming show. All of that and so much more. Mr. Best, welcome back.
Thank you.
But now I am actually going to follow your lead here, Mr. Best, and do the exact same thing.
All right. As right now, I am looking at a series of commercials coming from Netflix here. If you guys will just give me 2 seconds here, I just need to fix something real quick on my end. My headphones are dying out, so I had to unplug my headphones just for a minute. And Javon Evans is on his way to the ring right now. Oh, that's right. 6-man tag team action. Bobby starts saying he's enjoying Raw and the Raw role too. I am too, and I'm enjoying having you around, Bobby. And Bobby, I know you're saying you're interested to see who else could join that ladder match. I think we have all our competitors, if I'm being honest with you. I thought there would have been more announcement maybe over on SmackDown or something like that, but maybe, I don't know, maybe we will get more tonight. As Rayo and Bravo coming out with El Grande Americano. So it's Los Americanos taking on Javon Evans, Penta, and Dragon Lee. Maybe we see both Americanos get involved in that ladder match. I kind of want to see something with them take place at WrestleMania. As we're getting set for some 6-man tag team action here, OMD.
Yes, we are. And this is very interesting because you do have 3 of the men involved in the Intercontinental Championship ladder match against Los Americanos.
Yeah, and this is where I was answering something about Bobby had said about him being interested in seeing who else joins the ladder match. And then I had stated, I think we already have our competitors, but if I were to add more, I would go with El Grande Americano and the original El Grande to join in.
Right. Yeah, I do believe it was confirmed as the 5 that were announced last week.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because it does appear as though the WrestleMania matchup between the Americanos is no longer going to happen.
But at the same time, we could see that set in stone here tonight. We could also see the only person who is Kofi watching this match too. Kofi has had a vested interest with Javon Evans.
Yes, he has, as he has been trying to recruit Javon to the New Day. But I have to ask, is this maybe a way of Kofi looking to get out of the New Day? Or does that addition make Javon a much more credible threat, not only to the Intercontinental Championship, but to becoming a champion in general, whether it's the tag team, or does it put the New Day back to a babyface squad?
See, that's what I'm not so certain about, but I want to go back to the Intercontinental title match because we've already seen JD tonight.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Rusev.
No, we have not.
And I wouldn't be too opposed that in this match, that if we see the original Grande come out to try and cost the Los Americanos this match, but then as that's happening, we see Rusev come out and just obliterate everybody else.
Yep. Yeah, because we have not seen Rusev really in quite some time since his match with Oba a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. And Bobby Stats is asking, what if Vikingo gets involved? Well, Vikingo, I believe it's this weekend, has a championship match with Penta for the Intercontinental title.
Yes. So if Vikingo wins that match potentially, we believe this weekend, does that remove Penta from the mix and put Vikingo in there? Or do we go to a 6-man ladder match?
I would say go to a 6-man, and Vikingo is the one who has to defend it.
Okay.
And even if Vikingo does lose this week, I wonder if that makes him want to talk to Adam Pearce or Nick Khan or even Nick Aldis or even Hunter about getting into that match at WrestleMania.
Right.
But there is something I'm thinking about because I think I'm going with an early prediction of Penta taking the win. But if
Okay.
Penta doesn't win it, I wouldn't mind seeing Javon Evans win the title.
Okay. See, and although I don't agree with Carl and Javon being called up too early, I think it's too soon to put the title on Javon. I do believe by the end of the year, he could well be in the mix. But I'm going to go off the board here. And I'm going to suggest we go JD to win the Intercontinental Championship. Bring more gold back to the Judgment Day. And that way,
Yeah,
if Dom has the AAA, JD has the IC. And then I'm going to suggest then as well that we have Liv win the Women's World Heavyweight Championship at Mania. And then you can go back to the idea of a Raquel and Roxanne as your tag team champions. Or you go to Roxanne, one of them, as the Women's Intercontinental Champion.
And that's where you can go to Finn and JD at Backlash for the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
It will be interesting, though, to see where those matches, where JD's ladder match and Dom's match with Finn are placed, too.
Right.
Because let's say Finn and Dom are placed on night 1, I could see JD trying to get involved in that matchup.
Yep.
But not being successful at it.
Right. There's something that tells me that, I mean, we'll know at 9:35 a.m. tomorrow, but something tells me that we could see this ladder match open WrestleMania.
We're only going to know which nights the matches are going to take place. We don't know the match order.
Right. But I do think that that is something that we can discuss tomorrow at 8:05 p.m. Eastern, right here at Turnbuckle Studios on Turnbuckle Talk.
Dragon Lee hitting that Styles Clash. That was nice and clean.
Yes, it was. And what a fitting tribute to our soon-to-be Hall of Famer. And a super kick party from the Luchadors and Javon Evans. Although everybody in this match is Lucha.
Yeah, we'll just say super kicks because we won't bring up bring up any bucks of any kind unless you have a couple bucks in your pocket.
Yeah.
That'll be me in a couple of days. But Javon Evans taking the win for his team here. And if you'll indulge me with just a few seconds here.
You're on the clock.
I'm just going to knock things over on my desk here. I had to charge my headphones briefly, so.
And we are getting Rey Mysterio returning to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, not really returning for me because he's been on AAA the last several months.
Well, that's why I said returning here on Raw.
Yeah. He's got a microphone too.
Yes, he does. What does he have to say here?
There you have it. Rey Mysterio is going to be in the ladder match. Rey Mysterio is good to go. I guess his rib injury wasn't as serious as everybody thought it would be.
Right? And again, all four baby faces celebrating.
There won't be much celebrating. There won't be much celebrating WrestleMania weekend.
No, there won't. But where is Rusev?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see Rusev come out and attack them and just kick everybody's butt.
Right?
We could get that still next week, though.
We could.
Because once again, we're looking at what happened last Friday between Randy Orton, Pat McAfee, and Cody. But come on, guys, other things happen on SmackDown that you can talk about,
right? But this is about Cody's response. Now, do
Still
we
love
keep this? Do we keep this match as a straight up one-on-one, or do you go, as we have heard, rumors that that match could potentially go to Hell in a Cell?
Somebody's talking to Maxine in the background. I couldn't tell who.
I didn't even see Maxine in the background, unfortunately.
She was right in the middle. She was sitting there. She was talking to, I think, Austin Theory, but I'm not certain. I don't know what it was with that promo with Bailey and Lyra, but it made me think of 80s tag team promos.
Yeah, but very, very passionate, very inspired from those two. Oh,
Triple H on Cody's podcast. Interesting.
wow.
You know, I've always thought about this. If I were to do a podcast with Hunter, I wouldn't do it for 1 hour. I would do like a 3 hour podcast with him and just let him lay it all out, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, I was gonna say about that Cody thing. Like, there was a lot of other things that took place on SmackDown, like uh, Sami Zayn successfully retaining the United States title over Mello, which I think is going to lead to a triple threat match instead of a one-on-one between
Yep.
Trick and Sammy. Uncle Howdy finally got back his lantern.
Yep. Now we are getting a recap of the LA Knight Usos situation, asking for that 6-man tag at WrestleMania.
And it's official 6-man tag team action at WrestleMania. I mean, it was official when Adam Pearce said it. So,
Yes.
but to me, when it comes to pay per view, sure, when a GM says it's going to happen, I don't think it's official until I see the actual graphic in some cases.
Right. We still have a match to go and a contract signing.
What other matches left?
Rhea versus BFab and Michin.
Oh. They're cutting it kind of close then, a little bit. Because I kind of wanted the contract signing to get some time.
Right? I think it's going to be very, very quick. They're going to put their names on the contract and then they are going to just go. Though it also wouldn't surprise me if, because we got that surprise last week of Triple H getting in between them, it wouldn't surprise me if Triple H officiates this contract signing over Adam Pearce.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a situation where, given what's going on with with Oba and Brock, that you put in a special guest referee like a Triple H?
I was going to say you'd have to put it in against somebody who can handle these two guys. Put somebody who can handle these two guys in the ring, because no regular official could get between these two dudes, I think.
No.
And the safer bet, if you needed somebody who could get involved as a regular official and not get any harm, put one of the women officials in there. That's about it.
Now, I've got to ask, given the size of Brock and Oba, and I don't want to do this, but would you put this match into a main event slot on night one as the final match?
No.
With the potential for a ring breaker?
I don't think we're going to see a ring break anyways, but if there was, then yeah, because then the workers would at least have a night to repair the ring.
Yeah.
But this is going to be one of those matches. It's either going to be an opener or a mid-card match. It's going to be one of those matches that's going, the contract signing is now, I think.
No.
Or is that is Io's thing? Okay.
That is Io's
I saw the green. That's what it was. But I can see that match being an opener or a mid-card match, a match that's going to happen after a match that's kind of like a buffer between two big feuds. Maybe it happens after like the 6-man tag or something.
Yeah.
I could see it being later on in the card, though.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 matches before the main event, I would say.
Right. See, I could see it being the semi-main event on one night, but I could definitely see it being an opener. But it would have to be, for me, it has to be the night 2 opener. It can't open the show.
Mm-hmm.
It can't open the weekend. I think you need something like a Rhea and Jade to open the weekend, or Liv and Steph. Something that's going to really try and set the tone.
And I'm going to say this again for Rhea and Jade. Just because I loved how they did it the last time, but I want Motionless and White to play Rhea to the ring again.
Right?
I know it's a repeat thing, but Hunter did it with Motorhead. So why can't Rhea do it with Motionless and White?
Yep. Orton did it with Rev Theory.
Yep. I'm pretty sure Punk did it with Living Color,
Yep.
even though that was two different promotions. It it was still because I know he got Living Color to play him in AEW for one match.
Yeah, and I think he had them twice in WWE already.
Yeah. And I get the feeling that because this is Punk's big show, that may happen again.
Yep.
I might watch this boxing fight that I'm seeing a promo for, but at the same time, I'm leery about it because I hate waiting 20 minutes in between fights.
Right.
The last boxing fight I watched on Netflix had that problem.
Right. You know what? That's standard for all boxing pay-per-views, and the fact that they start at like 10 or 11 p.m.
Mhm.
What I'm going to ask, and yes, I'm going to admit it, I've seen them. Can we get Shaman's Harvest to come and play Drew to the ring and play Broken Dreams live?
I'd love for that. I just if Drew goes back to babyface, the theme works as a heel as well.
Yeah,
Just give him that theme. I do like his current theme. Don't get me wrong, but Broken Dreams just hits that much harder.
it does.
I listen to it on my Spotify all the time, and every time that song comes out, I literally feel like I'm Drew McIntyre coming off my elevator as my entranceway. You know?
Right. And I'm gonna say this. Even have the swords, have the Celtic music, start Drew, and then all of a sudden you just hear "Out of Time," and then Shaman's Harvest is there.
As right now, we're looking at the Hall of Fame class taking place April 17th on Friday. Dennis Rodman, Demolition, AJ Styles, Stephanie McMahon, Bad News Brown, Psycho Sid, and Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant is our class this year. And this is a class I'm happy about.
I am too.
Because
Still,
there's Bad News Brown deserved the Hall of Fame induction. So does Psycho Sid. But what really annoys me is that it has been announced that there isn't going to be a speech for Psycho Sid.
oh
There needs to be one.
yes,
The family have been invited to the show and they're going to be there. And the same thing for Bad News Brown, because I thought of who could be the one who inducts him. And I went with Bret Hart.
okay,
And a lot of people who don't know this, Bret Hart and Bad News Brown, aka Bad News Allen, when he wrestled up here in Stampede Wrestling, they had a huge feud up here over the Stampede Wrestling's title.
yep,
And it was Bret Hart who helped get Bad News Brown over into the WWE through talking to Vince McMahon.
right. We are getting a promotional package from Oscar who's saying, I paved the way for you and Kyrie to come over here, EO, and you used me. You've taken advantage of me. But we're not sure where or when she is issuing this challenge for. No official challenge.
But a threat towards Kyrie nonetheless.
Yes.
And that is the rumored match for EO at WrestleMania is Asuka.
It is. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that unless she was with the Street Profits, this is BFab's first ever match on Raw.
I'm trying to remember. She might have been in a Battle Royal too, or something like that.
Yeah. I know Michin has competed on Raw.
Well, yeah, I mean, she alongside what the heck was that stable she got brought up in?
Retribution.
Yeah, she and Retribution destroyed Raw together.
Yep. And Jade Cargill at ringside.
As expected, because I mean, like, she's got this, she's in the feud with Rhea right now.
Yes. Do we get interference from the Kabuki Warriors, given their history with Rio and, of course, Asuka issuing that challenge, though we don't know for when?
Could very well see it, but I also expect Jade to get physically involved here.
Yeah. And I am going to be very, very honest. I don't think we see it tonight, but I do think that we are going to get the return of Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
That could be, but there's one thing I'm noticing tonight, and that is BFab's gear 100% a tribute to the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels.
Yes. Both BFab and Rhea able to make the tag, so Io and Michin are now the legal competitors in this match.
And this is the one thing I'm happy about over the last couple of weeks. I know that I'm not too fond of Michin and BFab deciding they're going to team with Jade, because it still doesn't quite make sense to me. I know it's the whole if you can't beat him, join him thing, but I'm actually glad that Michin is getting time on TV.
Yep, no, and I'm with you there, because it was all of a sudden like Jade took them out on the holiday tour at Christmas. Then Jade came back, whooped them both, and then they promptly turn on Rhea. What was the point in that?
I guess it's a whole wait and see thing, because this relationship between those three women is still fairly new. So as we've gone to commercial break, and I think we're going to take our final commercial break as well. We're going to play everything that we've got with the Turnbuckle Affiliation program here.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
A Turnbuckle Affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos, games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we go TNA as we brace for Impact at 9 p.m. On Fridays, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later that night, we have the Borsnest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. And please visit turnbucklestudios.org.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. All the information on how you can join us, how you can meet the team that you could be working with, and all of our weekly programming, not counting the special events. All of that and more. Turnbucklestudios.org, your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program.
Yeah, I apologize for that little mishap in between the commercials. Blame the little hairy furball, my sidekick Pepper here. She's doing some really weird stuff right now, rolling around, and she ended up rolling onto the mouse and almost stopped at the commercial.
Oh, jumping.
She didn't want the commercials, apparently.
But we are back to the action as BFab ate a Slumdog Millionaire from Io Sky, but is preventing Io from getting that tag to Rhea. And what a clothesline from BFab. And Bobby comes out saying BFab did compete on an episode of Raw on February 19th, 2024 in a last chance elimination chamber qualifier. Okay, thank you, Bobby.
That might have been the Battle Royal I was thinking about or something.
Jessica Carr distracted by Michin and BFab, allowing Jade to pull Rhea off the apron.
Yeah, I'm not sure I get that, because BFab and Michin were double teaming on Io, and they just let her go. Like,
Yeah.
they should have just continued on, and then you have Jessica Carr like get involved to try and separate them or something like that, and then yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
Yes, and it looks like Io just picked up the win.
But she doesn't look like a winner right now.
No, she doesn't, as she is getting beaten down by BFab and Michin, who are going for some plunder. Michin going for her trademark kendo stick.
Yeah, and Rhea's taking exception to that.
Yes, she is. But eating that boot
pump kick
from Jade.
Which that kind of reminds me, something I've been thinking about the last couple of days. Where's Sheamus been?
I don't know. Bobby did ask, is there an update on when Sheamus comes back?
See, Bobby, we're on the same wavelength. I've been thinking about that the last couple of days. I just realized we haven't seen Sheamus on TV in a couple of months.
Right? Jade now picking up the kendo stick.
Yeah, but it seems that they forgot all about Io. Or maybe Jade didn't. I thought she was going to attack Rhea.
No, I did too, but she's going to send the message to Rhea by going through Io with that kendo stick.
Yeah, they're holding her prisoner in that corner, and Io is just getting the ever-living tar beaten out of her. Jade just made this personal for Rhea.
Oh, yes, she did. We didn't need the Kabuki Warriors to get involved in this match.
No, I get it now. I get why they did the Oscar video thing now. Or is this becoming a thing where the Kabuki Warriors pick up the scraps?
Right? And Rhea there holding Io. And I have to wonder, is this a way to not necessarily get to Io and Asuka after WrestleMania?
That's hard to say, but right now we're finally having a look at what this Netflix house is.
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
With Kit Wilson.
I couldn't tell who was with Kit Wilson for a second.
I wanted to say Chelsea Green.
Yeah. For some reason, I wanted to say Sonya Deville. I don't know why. I don't know why. I know she's in TNA right now.
She is Daria Ray now.
But there it is. Rey Mysterio officially added to the match, the ladder match, making it a 6-man. Not to knock Rey, but I think I would have preferred a third heel in the match.
Yeah.
But Rey is finally getting his WrestleMania match because he missed out last year. The year prior, was that WrestleMania 40? Oh, that was the tag team match where I can't remember who he tag team against, but it was against Dom and I can't remember against who Dom was teaming with either. I just remember it was a tag team match, and I'm like, do we really need to see Dom and Rey again at WrestleMania?
Oh, Finn saying, congratulations, Dom. You got one up on me tonight, but you've awoken a side of me that I thought was gone forever. And you've only ever seen this one side of me.
Yeah, and as they zoomed in close, the makeup of the demon started to show.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, wasn't expecting Stephanie. Oh, damn. Wasn't expecting Stephanie Vaquera. I was kind of I was entranced with what Liv had to say to Roxanne about her being in the Judgment Day, because it seemed like Liv was going to future endeavor Roxanne from the Judgment Day.
See, I think she was going to ask where Roxanne stood. And that's a question we've been asking here at Turnbuckle Studios, is does Roxanne align with Finn? Because Finn's the one that brought her in.
Yeah, but if
and look who is coming out to the ring.
The King of Kings himself, the Game, Triple H, making his way to the ring right now with Adam Pearce. And Triple H giving the finger point to a little Stephanie Becker.
Right.
Dude, if I ever get to do a picture with Hunter, I want him to do the finger point.
Right.
And I'll do the finger point right back at him, and I'll put like
Right.
the Turnbuckle affiliation program on the picture and say Hunter has joined the Turnbuckle affiliation program.
Right. There is no table in the ring for this contract signing.
Well, we know that that table would have gotten destroyed.
Yes, we do.
At the same time, though, I gotta ask, where is the contract? Either one of those men should have the contract in their hand.
Right. I have to wonder, does a guy like Paul Heyman have that contract?
Maybe. Oh, I see them rolling out the carpet. Hunter's milking the audience.
Yep.
This is all that stuff that could have been done during the Stephanie Becker segment, but that's
Right.
either neither here nor there.
But for those of us not on Netflix, which is actually everybody internationally, for those who do not have the premium tier, they are in commercial break.
Hunter's doing the Scott Hall point, as I call it. I'd like to see him just get up on the apron, or not on the apron, but on the turnbuckle and do his signature taunt. That would get people over.
Oh, there come the chairs.
Okay, massive props to Adam Pearce because he is helping them set it up.
Yep. Oh, and there is the table.
That's the one thing I like seeing on the independent circuit, guys. I like seeing when the older guys are helping to tear down the ring and all of that. I saw, and that's why I got to give massive props to Savio Vega. I've seen do it. I saw Too Cold Scorpio do it. I saw Hernandez do it. Trying to think of all the wrestlers I've seen do it. So
I've seen, believe it or not, I've seen Devon Dudley out helping set up chairs at a TNA show.
Yep.
You know, it's something that I've been a part of with every show I worked. I was always there for setup. I stayed for teardown, did everything I needed to do to help pay my dues. And there is the contract in Adam Pearce's hand.
Even the belt collector himself, Austin Aries. I saw him helping set up and tearing things down at the last CWE show.
Got to admit, I still love that FAF5 shirt.
Yeah. I was thinking about Brock's entrance as he walks to the ring. He still does this little dance thing. He does the stomp for the pyro. But the one thing I do miss is him jumping up onto the apron and just grabbing the rope, because he doesn't seem to do that anymore. He does the circle around the ring and then uses the stairs usually to get out of the ring nowadays.
But I think that's something that just comes with age.
Yeah.
But
it's just watching that vertical leap of his was just fantastic to see.
Why are they playing like the rolling credits there at the end, telling us next week we're in Sacramento?
Well, look at the time. Producers. We're at the end of the show.
Oh, I know. But still, I mean, you can't, like, this is Netflix, so they can run over.
Because usually, like, I'm being a little bit precise here, but usually our show ends at about 2 hours and 23 minutes. That's been like almost the exact time our show has come to an end every week, or at least Raw.
Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman both shaking hands with Triple H. Brock also shaking Adam Pearce's hand, but Paul Heyman did not.
Well, Brock doesn't have problems with Adam Pearce. Paul Heyman does.
That's right. Brock named a moose that he hunted, Pearce, after Adam.
And here comes the ruler, Oba Femi. It's funny how that little walk of his is starting to get over with the crowd now.
Right?
It's almost like the Bushwhackers.
Yeah, it was something
with their walk.
Yep. It was something that didn't work for me when he was in NXT, but it has grown on me over his time in WWE, be it NXT or now on the main roster.
Both men just staring a hole in one another right now. Oh, Brock's not even going to wait. Neither is Oba. Oh, dang. Pierce, you should have had security out there a long time ago, my friend.
Yeah. Pierce calling for security, and there goes the table. This is a contract signing that is not going to happen here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This match is going with the same intensity of Rhodes and Orton and Punk and Roman.
Yeah, Pierce and Hunter should have had the oh geez. Brock Lesnar had one of those office chairs and oh god. they're both basically playing pass with the office chair right now, guys.
Yep. This reminds me of Brock versus Taker as well.
Yeah, but as the big red end flashes up, guys, that was an intense finish. OMD,
Wow.
man, what did you think of this show?
Holy jumpins. And for not thinking I was going to be able to do the show tonight. Wow.
Aren't
Off
you glad
the
you did?
charts. I am. This was off the charts. This was more twists and turns. This was more build and shock on the road to WrestleMania. And I can't wait another 2 weeks. I am ready for Mania this weekend.
You're ready for WrestleMania this weekend? I'm ready for WrestleMania, not this weekend, but next weekend. But yeah, this show was holy. There was a few lulls in the show, but those lulls also seem to make sense as well. Take for instance, like with Liv talking to Roxanne, I thought there was going to be a bit of a lull there, but then Stephanie McCare comes in and just beats the snot out of Liv, throwing her through that TV, and just that reminded me of Shawn Michaels and the Geratron 5000, by the way.
Yep, that's exactly where I was going to go with it.
This Raw has been firing on all cylinders lately, guys, and I hope that they can continue this hype past WrestleMania because
Yep.
we need that hype.
The one big thing that I will gladly say was I am glad that Roman wasn't there tonight because I think they needed that separation from Roman and Punk.
Mm-hmm.
But you made up for it when you went to that face-to-face with AJ and Becky.
Right. And that face-to-face was just that face-to-face was out of nowhere too, because I'm like, okay, Michael Cole, sit down interview. Let's get ready for this. Then Becky shows up and just throws the thing topsy-turvy. But guys, if you want to look for us, it's simple. turnbucklestudios.org/host. You'll be able to meet all of the team there, whether it's OMD, myself, Bubba Duke, Chris Parrish, Carl Carafel, and our newest member, Logan Thompson. All there, guys. OMD, as we bid farewell, what are those words we like to go out on?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please always remember the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.